What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, Crypto Warriors? It's Sergeant Crypto back at it again. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. If you don't believe it or don't get it, I don't have the time to try to convince you. Sorry. Satoshi Nakamoto. Kind of had to say that today to someone that I was trying to explain Bitcoin to. With all this money printing going on, things of that nature. So just gave him a few books that I think, or recommended a few books I think that he should read. Hopefully he reads them. Let's get into it. If you're not following me on Twitter, give me a follow at Sergeant Crypto 99. Going to play this real quick.
You don't need to. Your ATM is safe. Your banks are safe. There's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. We will do whatever we need to do to make sure that there's enough cash in the banking system.
There's an infinite amount of cash. Infinite. The printers are printing, baby. An infinite amount of cash. All right, here we go. Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin block reward halving countdown. Everything I covered today will be linked in the description below. So here we go. What is a Bitcoin blit? What is a block halving event? As part of Bitcoin's coin issuance, miners are rewarded a certain amount of Bitcoins whenever a block is produced, approximately every 10 minutes. When Bitcoin first started, 50 Bitcoins per block were given as a reward to miners. At every 210,000 blocks, after every 210,000 blocks are mined approximately every 4 years, the block reward halves and will keep halving until the block reward per Bitcoin, per block becomes zero, or approximately by year 2140, so 120 years from now. As of now, the block reward is 12.5 coins per block and will decrease to 6.25 coins per block post-halving. Why is this done? Bitcoin was designed as a deflationary currency. Like gold, the premise is that over time, the issuance of Bitcoins will decrease and thus become scarcer over time, even becoming more scarce than gold itself. As Bitcoins become scarcer and if demand for them increases over time, Bitcoin can be used as a hedge against inflation as the price, guided by the price equilibrium, is bound to increase. On the flip side, fiat currencies like the US dollar inflate over time as its monetary supply increases because it's infinite, leading to a decrease in purchasing power. This is known as monetary debasement by inflation. A simple example would be to compare housing prices decades ago to now, and you'll notice that they've increased over time. It's not that the price of the house increased because you're not producing anything in the house or anything. It's nothing being produced by that home. It's just that there's so much money in the system that the price, has to inflate. It has to go up. Predictable monetary supply. Since we know Bitcoin's issuance over time, people can rely on programmed controlled supply. This is helpful to understand what the current inflation rate of Bitcoin is, what the future inflation rate will be at a specific point in time, how many Bitcoins are in circulation, and how many remain left to be mined. Bitcoin inflation versus time, and this is the chart for those listening. Again, everything will be linked in the description below, and you see the amount of Bitcoin being mined over time, and there's only ever going to be 21 million, and the deflation rate is decreased over time as well, or inflation rate, I'm sorry. Who controls the issuance of Bitcoin? The network itself controls the issuance of Bitcoin. Point blank, period. If you want to come and read the rest, like I said, links in the description. And here we go. So this is a quick chart. This is from Binance.com. This is a Bitcoin halving chart, and it gives the Bitcoin halving, the two previous halvings, the price at the time of the halving, and the record high after the halving, and how many days between from the halving to the all-time high, and the percent increase. So the first halving took place on November 28, 2012. The price of per Bitcoin was $12.31. The record all-time high at the time after the halving was $994. It took 369 days for an increase rate of 7,974.74%. The second halving took place on July 9th, 2016, and the price at the halving was $650.63. All-time high was $19,798.68, and it took 526 days after the halving to get to the all-time high for a price increase of 22,943%. Next, this is coming out of News BTC. All right, analysts who predicted Bitcoin's January rally think 700% surge is possible. Here's why. In December of 2019, when the cryptocurrency fell under $7,000, a majority of analysts were expecting a retracement to $5,000. But this one analyst, who's the fund manager, who is a CIO and CEO of Three Arrows Capital, Zhu Shu, remarked that BTC would likely end January, this past January of 2020, around $9,000, 25% higher than the market price when he made that comment. And he was right. And he also said the likelihood, there's a likelihood that Bitcoin will hit $50,000 relatively quickly. And here is why. As to why he thinks such explosive growth can take place in such a short amount of time, Zhu looked to the fact that several emerging markets are now pricing, and this is the direct quote, now pricing in significant risk of sovereign defaults, meaning that they can't pay their debt. A lot of countries around the world, because of this current economic crisis that we're in, are going to default on their debt. Zhu added that with the US dollar set on a course for inflation, it will be hard to turn back from, which has been corroborated by trends in the bond market. And not to, exclude also the fact that there's an infinite amount of cash that the Fed will print to save our skin, so to speak. And they also give the stock to flow chart, Plan B stock to flow chart here. And again, linked in the description below. Next, this is coming from CoinMarketCap blog, and again, it's talking about the halving. All right, it talks about the Bitcoin halving, what it is, and it breaks it down Barney style. What Bitcoin halving is and how much. It just explains it. Give a simple explanation of what Bitcoin halvings are and how it works and things of that nature. But let's just get to the straight of the meat and potatoes. What the experts think will happen after the halving. Some experts, like CoinShares CSO Meltem D. Mirrors, I hope I pronounced that right, believe the price surge has already happened. So this person believed that the Bitcoin halving price or Bitcoin's halving has already been priced in to the current price of Bitcoin right now. And the market won't react much to the halving. We have him saying that, but we have others saying that Bitcoin will surge after the halving. But if we go back here real quick to this first website here, we see that after the halving, each time it doesn't just the first time it did, it spiked up right away, like an S curve. But this one, it took some time to gain momentum before we had a quick pump in 2017. And I think that's what's going to happen again. After the halving, we may see a quick sell-off, because that's what happened after Litecoin's halving the last year, where leading up to the halving, we had a pump of Litecoin of over maybe $130 per Litecoin, and then going into the halving, people started selling, and we saw that after the halving, and up to now, we saw basically there is under $50 Litecoin. But there are several different things to take into consideration. The fact that this pandemic thing happened, and every market crash, there was a liquidity crisis worldwide. So that's what we have to take into consideration right now as far as Litecoin. But I think that leading up to the halving, in my opinion, we'll see a quick price pump, and then right after, we'll see people sell to try to take some profits, shake out some of the weak hands, and then people will be buying in lower again after the halving. All right, so yeah, that's the Coinbase blog. CoinMarketCap blog. And now this is coming out of the blackenterprise.com. Bitcoin's potential to benefit the Black community. Now, if you don't have the book Bitcoin in Black America, I suggest that you pick it up. All right, a book offering an analysis of the role of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency can play with African Americans has been endorsed by Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey as a way for African Americans to see Bitcoin's potential value to the economic market. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. He's trying to some way integrate Bitcoin into Twitter. He's also the CEO of the Square or of Cash, the Square's Cash app, yeah, and where you could purchase Bitcoin directly on the app. He endorsed this book, Bitcoin in Black America, written by Isaiah Johnson, who's also known, aka Bitcoin Zay, from the Gentlemen of Crypto. Watch those guys pretty much every day whenever they release live videos on YouTube. Go check them out if you're not already subscribed. And it's a great book. Definitely pick it up. So in this book, he gives a way for the Black community to be able to participate in the Bitcoin economics system. To leave the traditional system, because traditionally we were, as Black people, we were barred or redlined or from participating in the traditional system. So redlining meaning that we weren't provided with home loans to you know purchase homes and things of that nature. So he's just saying that in his book, he gave different ideas of how we can participate in the system. All right. The next wave of this is the direct quote. The next wave of innovation is, I believe, centered around blockchain technology and, of course, Bitcoin as a payment system. Jackson told Anthony Pompliano on the Off the Chain podcast. So when I say miss it, because he mentioned that he doesn't want to see the Black community miss out on this next great transfer of wealth by participating in the blockchain sphere. Okay, meaning that not only being as an investor, but also being able to build and participate in that economy. All right, building apps, because during that last wave, the dot-com bubble, that great wealth transfer where a lot of millionaire and billionaires were minted back in the late 90s. A lot of Black people weren't able to participate in it because at the time, no Black person was really into computers. I shouldn't say that, but a majority of that stuff weren't being introduced into our schools. And I grew up in the 90s, and so I could say specifically in my school, that kind of stuff wasn't introduced to me. It wasn't until I went to college and I kind of, seeked it out on my own. But, growing up in high school, it wasn't really introduced to me and things of that nature. So I'm speaking from experience here, all right, from my experience. So where was I? Boom, 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 boom. Miss it. What I mean is, economically, if you want to be viable as a community, you have to have some sort of technological expansion to ensure that survival. I think this is one of the way to do it, not just from a price standpoint, buying Bitcoin, but also from a technological standpoint, building the products that we'll use in the future. That's what I mean by the Black community not missing out this time around. So yeah, a lot of the products being built in the 90s weren't built by Black people, or we were the consumers of those products. The protocols, the websites, and things of that nature. The apps. So, and really apps really didn't come along until the introduction of the iPhone and things of that nature. But now we have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor, to participate in this thing on the ground floor. This is why I suggest to a lot of my friends, even my sons, and they've been doing it, to start learning more about blockchain through the Ivan on Tech Academy. Link in the description below, of course, as always. In all my videos, I have a link to the Ivan on Tech Academy, and where you'll be able to not only learn about investing in blockchain, but learn about building on blockchain. And I think that's the way for anyone in any community to be able to participate in this next great wealth transfer, because everything is going to be digitized moving forward, and blockchain is the new thing. It's the new wave. So you want to get in on that wave, you definitely have to learn about coding and learning how to build different products on different types of blockchain. So why not learn it, especially nowadays when we're forced to be home anyway, right? So again, links in the description below. This is the time for anyone that want to get in on that new wave to learn to start building. All right. So let me know what you guys think. As always, thank you for watching. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and share this video with your family and friends. It's your boy, Sergeant Crypto, and I'm out. Peace.